Hello paper crafters, this is Jane Fires. I'm an affiliate with Fun Stamper's Journey and Spellbinders. Today I'm going to show you how to do this little box right here. So let's get started. Some of the product we're going to use today will be the Fun Stamper's Journey Twinkle Trim, it's called. You get both gold and silver, and we're going to be using a piece of the gold today. The stamp set that we're using today is called Love Arrows. It's one of our ATs, and it's small, but it has the big heart, and then it has the arrow. The arrow is two parts, and some of the people have asked, well, why in the world have an arrow in two parts? Well, because you can make your strip then as long as you want to. So if I wanted to put my arrow, for example, here on my heart, I could. If I wanted to move it way up here, I could do that also. All right, because it's two pieces. So I can make it as long or as short as I want to. So that's why the arrow comes in two pieces. And then the words that we're going to use today are the Happy Valentine's Day. The stamp sets that we're going to use, not stamp sets, I'm sorry, the dies that we're going to use is this die here for one, and it's called our Heart Strip Die. Now, I like it because this is one of the things that you get after you've die cut this, besides all your little tiny hearts. And some of the ladies have said, well, man, those hearts are so small. Yes, they are, but they are excellent for shaker cards or for small, put little tiny foam squares on the back of them and pop them up wherever you want to. We're going to use one of these today. This piece, however, I'm going to save because I'm going to use this on a Valentine's Day card for the bottom for a border. So that's that particular die. The other die that we're going to use today, and it's the smallest heart. There are 3 hearts in this die set, and it's called the Decorative Hearts die. It's got 3 hearts, and it has 3 bases, and we're going to use the very smallest one today. The thing that's neat about these is you can use them as a cutout, or you can use this part just on, say, on the front of your card if you don't want to actually cut it out. You just want the decorative part. And you can do the same here. This one and the small one have the scallop, and then it has the scallops in the decorative piece as well. And we're using the small one, that's why it's not here. To make the box, we're doing Fun Stamper's Journey Gable Favor Box die. And this is the die, and of course you need 2 of them. And so these will fit through both the big Platinum machine and the Platinum 6. And I use today the Platinum 6 because I've already cut all of our things out. The cardstock we're going to use today is the mirrored gold, and as you can tell, it's real shiny. Now when I do this and do a card and I produce my card so that I can put it on paper, the gold looks black, but it is a mirrored gold, and that's why it's a very bright gold. We'll also use the white whipped cream, and we're going to use our vellum and Journey Vellum. And you'll see I cut out a heart already, but this is our vellum here. Okay, I want to give you a couple tips as we get started. Our box now, once you have yours die cut, a lot of people have made the comment to me that they have a hard time seeing our fold lines. So what I suggest is that you know that the fold is going to go from corner to corner. So I turn mine to the back side. I lay my crease tool down in some cases if I'm having a hard time seeing it. Line my crease tool up to where I know my fold is going to go, and then I just push it up from the front side here. Then I can turn it over, and now I can see my fold. So now I can put it down, and of course on this particular box you want to make sure you use your crease tool so that you get good creases on all your boxes, on all your edges. So now for this one, what we're going to do is take our white liner tape, put it right along our fold line. And then using my little detail scissors, I'm going to cut it. Do the same thing now on my other side. Now I'm ready to put my box together. So on one side I'm going to peel off my tape. And now I'm going to add some of our Journey craft glue. I'm going to add it right along the edge, and I'm going to put a few dots on my tape. That way I know this is going to hold together. So now what I'm going to do is take my other side here and I'm going to put it together now. I didn't do that right, did I? Now when I do this, what I do is I fold to the front side anything that's going to not be glued so that I can make sure I line this up perfectly along my fold line. Now I'm on the other side. Again, I'm going to put some dots of glue on my tape and a thin line right along my cut edge. Now I can turn that in, fold the other side over, and again I'm just going to fold this one in and that one so that I know I've got them lined up well. And press it down. So now there's my box. So now I'm ready to do its bottom. And one of the things I do is I fold it in just a little bit at that crease line at the top, because now my handles need to come together up here so that I can poke them in so that they're going to be held by my two little sides right there. So now my top part is in. So now I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to push in my two sides. Again, I'm going to put a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here. Peel this piece of tape off, put it in, peel the other tape off. That one doesn't want to fold in right. Okay, there we go. You sometimes have to play with these boxes so that you're sure that they're going to go with the way you want them. And then press it in. Then I turn mine over and I rub it on the bottom. Now I unhook it on both sides. And I usually take my crease tool, this flatter end of my crease tool, and I go inside and I make sure that it's going to stick down well. Okay, so there's my box actually made and put together. So now it's time to decorate it. I want to give you a hint. This is the small die that I used. When I do this, because it's a two-piece die, I always tape down, and I use our electric green tape. It's like a washi tape, but it's not quite as sticky. I glue my outside down, which is of course my scalloped edge. Then I take my decorative piece and I place it in the inside exactly where I want it. And then I tape it down, and I usually tape it down then to my cutting plate, okay? Because that way this is going to come out exactly where I want it as I run it through my die cut machine. Now I've already done that in this one here. And I die cut both my gold with the decorative, and then I took just the outside piece, which is this piece, and I die cutted my vellum so that I could back my gold with a solid piece of vellum. So that's how I did this particular heart. So now it's ready to go onto my box. Now again, remember that when you're using vellum, if you put any tape or any glue back in here, it's going to show through. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a line of glue just around the edge where the scallop part is, because that will hold it on. Before I do that, the first thing I want to do is I want to use some of our whipped cream sparkle tape. And I'm going to put a strip of this at the bottom. Now this is washi tape, but it's sparkly. So what I do with mine is I go ahead and I line it up at the bottom, and then I trim it. Now I trim it after I have it on. And you may want to cut it exact before you have it on, but I just trim it that way, because then I can always go back and just trim a tad more right there. And that's the other thing I like about our little detailed scissors, is nothing sticks to them. So that if you cut something like washi tape and that, you can just peel it right off and there's no glue or anything. So there, now I have that at the bottom. So now I'm going to take my craft glue, and as I said, I'm going to put it around the outside here of my heart, just on the scalloped edge. And then I just take my finger. Now some people don't like to get glue on their fingers, but it doesn't bother me. That's probably because I taught 1st and 2nd grade. So there I have my glue on. Now I'm going to place it where I want it on my box. Okay, so I have my heart glued and I have my washi tape on. So now I'm ready to stamp my words. And again, as I said, I'm using Happy Valentine's Day. I'm using black licorice ink. And my whipped cream cardstock. And there are my words. Now I've already done one because I didn't want you to have to watch me fussy cut, but I fussy cutted the Happy Valentine's Day out. So now I'm ready to put it on my box. I'm going to put it right down there, and I want to pop it up. So I'm going to take a couple of our medium Journey foam squares and put them on the back of it. And attach it right down here at the bottom. Then, on this one you can see I used some of our little Journey sparkle dots, or sparkle hearts. Okay, so let me get those. Okay, and on our little sparkle hearts, remember that the back has a glue dot already. So you just need to peel them off. And I'm going to put 3 on this one like I did on the other one. Whoops. And of course you can put these anywhere on your box you want to. Okay, so that part's done. Now we're going to work on our bow. And the ribbon that I'm using for my bow is the black gingham ribbon. Now this is an easy bow to do, okay? There's nothing hard about it. A lot of people say, oh, this is such a hard bow to do, because I'm doing it so that I have either 2 or 3 little bows up here. Well, really, it's not hard at all. So what we do is give yourself a tail down here, space your 2 fingers as far as you want, and I don't want a real big one, so that's about right there. Put my ribbon around like this, so I've got 2 up here. I now have 2 loops down here, my 3rd loop there, and my 3rd loop here. Now, the trick to this is to leave yourself enough tail. All right, so I'm going to cut right here, because now what I'm going to do is I'm taking my tail that's here, I'm going through my V, I'm bringing it to the front side now, but you see this part right here? I'm going underneath it, from bottom to top. Now when I pull this tight, I have my bows, and my bow will not give way. Okay, so you can tighten that up as much as you want. For me, the hardest part once I've tightened it up is getting it off my fingers. All right, so now here's my bow. I have 3 loops on each side. All right, and then I can cut my tails however I want them. So there's my bow. Then I'm using what we call a page hugger for the decoration at the top. And I'm going to adhere my bow to that. And how I'm going to do that is by using a piece of our twinkle trim right here. And I'm going to take the corner of my twinkle trim and go through the little hole in my page hugger, set my bow up here, and tie a knot. And because I want to make sure that's going to hold, I'm going to do a double knot. So now I have my bow tied on right there. So now I'm going to take one of my little tiny hearts that we die cutted out of that whole bunch of hearts. Oops, I only need one. And I'm going to put some craft glue on it. And take it, whoops, and take it and put it right where my knot is and hold it for a minute. Okay, so now I'm ready. I can put my candy or a gift card or whatever I want in my box. And then at the top, I'm going to pinch open my page hugger and put it on right there. So my page hugger is going to come off real easy so that they can undo their box to get to their goodies that are inside. So there they are, an easy box to make. It's called a Favor Box. It's the newest box from Fun Stamper's Journey. All the product that I've used today you can find on my site. You can go to my website at www.janies-angelhugs.com, and there on the right hand side is my banner for Fun Stamper's Journey Spellbinders, and you can click on it and it will take you to my page, which I would appreciate if you'd go to, because I do as an affiliate receive a small commission from the company. That's it for Valentine's Day, an easy one. Even your kids, once they're die cut, could help you put them together and things, and they would love giving these to their teacher or to their friends at school. Have a great and blessed day.